Alright, Steve, this video is for you. I have your quads fixed up and your radio done. So basically what you wanted me to do was get your X9 Lite working with Crossfire and D16. So I'll start with the radio. So on the radio, what I had to do was flash the firmware, and then I used a nightly build, so that's what works with Crossfire. I got the newest nightly build, and then I updated the SD card contents, and then Crossfire was working, but I couldn't get D16 to work, and I was like, what the hell's going on? So I just figured maybe if I updated the internal module, that might do it. Since D16 is working off of the internal module, Crossfire is working on, obviously, the Crossfire module. So I went back to the computer and updated the internal module, and then D16 worked. So I was pretty happy about that because, you know, I had an X9 Lite. I sold it recently, but I had one, and I did like all these updates to it, but I never did a nightly build on it. I never tried to use Crossfire or anything, so I'm always happy when I can get something figured out that I don't know how to do, you know. So yeah, I was very happy that I got this going for you. Crossfire is working perfect, D16 is working perfect, and it's all on the newest firmwares too. So let's see, when you turn it on, you're gonna get all kinds of warnings.
Welcome to OpenTX.
You're gonna get nightly warning, version not safe to fly, pressing a key, don't worry about that, just push exit.
Throttle warning.
Throttle's not idle, exit. SD card warning, exit. Alright, so just hit exit 3 times. Alright, and then I got 2 models in here for your 2 quads. One is called 5-inch, the other one is called the Primo. So for the 5-inch, you can see it's set to Crossfire. You now also have all kinds of other external modules that you can use besides Crossfire. So there's PPM, XJT D16. That's if you're using like a external module that works with D16. DSM2, Crossfire, and then multi-protocol module will work in here as well now, as well as R9M, R9M Access, R9M Lite, S-Bus, XJT Lite, D16. So tons of stuff. We're gonna leave it on Crossfire. Alright, so the 5-inch. Oh, and then for your Crossfire module, all I did was I used my double-sided Gorilla Foam tape, the 38-pound stuff, and just stuck it to the cover for where you would put an external module. So it'll pop off if you slide it up, but it'll never come off on its own. So yeah, it's on there pretty good. Let me see, is this battery dead? No. Oh, yeah, it is. I got all kinds of dead batteries today. Oh my god, it doesn't even show up. I hate that. I try to keep them charged, but I never want to leave them fully charged, you know, so they always end up going dead because I'm always using them. Oh my god, it's completely zeros all the way across, so this battery is just done for. I can't believe that, man. Ah, that sucks. I'm sick of losing batteries. Alright, let me grab another one. Well, yeah, let me grab another one. Damn it, that sucks. I only have one more of those, and they're for my little custom little 75mm build. Alright, anyway, here's your 5-inch. So I added a Crossfire Nano, took out your Spectrum receiver, so your Crossfire Nano's right here. Bind button's right there, but you don't need to worry about that. I also added smart audio through the Crossfire for you. I redid your battery plug because it was all tore up inside, so I fixed it and redid it. I think, oh, I redid some of the wires, some of the signal wires were like about to break off. They were just hanging on by like one thread. As soon as I wiggled it once, it just broke off. So I resoldered, I think on this side, both of them. And then I resoldered all of these ones, only because I had to take them off to lift up the flight controller to change it from 3.3 volts to 5 volts. It's so stupid how on the Bardwell flight controller it's on the bottom. You would think they would have it on the top, because, you know, if you ever wanted to switch it between 3.3 or 5 volts, you have to lift up the flight controller to change it. It's ridiculous. I rewrapped the ESCs with fresh tape because they were all nasty and dirty. And I added the Top Gun tone to your ESCs. So let me just turn this on real quick. Gonna plug in a battery. Alright, that's good to go. Now we will plug in a battery to the quad. And both of the quads I set auxiliary 1 for arm, and I use this for that switch. So this towards you is arm, away from you is disarm, and then this is your flight mode switch. Okay, so this one towards you is arm. You can see. Good to go. You might be able to hear too, I also added a buzzer, and yeah, that's about it. It's good to go.
Telemetry lost.
Oh, another thing that surprised me too was, I guess they fixed it in one of the nightly builds or whatever, is now all the telemetry stuff works.
Telemetry recovered.
In the radio. So if I go to here, you'll see you got all of this stuff working, which is pretty cool that all that stuff's working now. I couldn't get the telemetry to work on my X9 Lite, but this is a newer firmware, so obviously they fixed it. Alright, so this one is good to go. Now we'll check out the Primo. So the Primo pretty much was a full build. I mean, you had the motors on here, but I had to take it all apart anyway and just redo some stuff. I flashed the XM Plus for RSSI. I added, I cut the video wire between the VTX and the camera, and then ran another separate video out, so that way you would have OSD. And I added heat shrink over the race wire, and then I added zip ties, and I think that's about it. Oh, I added a cap. You can see there's a cap here on the battery cable. Alright, so we will change this to the Primo.
Throttle warning.
Plug in the battery. And here is your video. And you can see you got OSD and you have RSSI working. So that's good. Video looks really nice. I'll do a quick little hover. So here we go. Flying very nice. And I also updated the firmware on that flight controller. It is now running 4.0.6. So that should do it. Got your 2 quads and your radio done. I will get them boxed up and shipped back. Alright, thanks.